Thanks everybody for hanging with me. I'm in the final video and we're going to wrap this up by showing you two things, specifically the days old, and I'm going to show you this little priority widget thingy that I created up here because it's a little bit interesting as well. The less exciting thing is going to be these numbers, 455, 698. This is telling us how many days old projects are within the project management scope. And so you can also see it over here that I've baked it into the title. So let's start with this because this over here is just a simplified version of this. Actually, you know what? Let's start over here. So this is just giving us the number. There's no concatenation, less code, easier to digest. The magic all happens because of this date differentiation thing. And so the way the date diff function works is you feed it in two dates and it will give you the difference in some unit based on these two dates. So I'm taking the value that's coming from the database. In this particular use case, or in scope to this app, it's saying that this initiation date is when the project was initiated. So when did we start the project? So from that date to today, how old is this project? And so the key part here is the time unit that we're using with the date diff function is the scope is in the number of days. Instead of the time unit being days, you do have the option to use all of these granularity things. You could do it in years, hours, milliseconds, minutes, months, quarters, seconds, whatever, years. Anyway, the point is the number of options for you to use this is insane. In this particular use case, days was appropriate use of this, and then all I've done is take this formula, copied it over here, and concatenated it in with some words. So I keep the title that we have here, onboarding, and then I just say that particular project is X number of days old, and so this is a completely dynamic. Okay, now wrapping on to the final one. I have this little widget component thingy that I made, or it's in a container. Where is the container? So it's called container status. And in it, I have the label, and then I have these little circles. What's not interesting is the circles per se, but what is interesting in this use case is what's going on with the circles. So let's pull this down so that we can look at the fill property. Now, at first glance, you might be a little confused. You're like, what the hell is going on here? This is the RGBA function. Now, what we're trying to write is code on the A property. So the red is 100% white. The green is black. The blue is black. And as a result of this, we have this color. And each of the balls have a particular color. So I want it to be 100% full on. I'm sorry, 255 wasn't white. In this use case, it's for the red value. So we're cranking it all the way up, 255. So you go from 0 to 255. And we're cranking the red all the way up and everything else is down. So I'm using the traffic light basic thing here in the US. It's red, green, and yellow for our traffic lights. So you either stop, you go, or slow down. We're about to, change to red. Anyway, what is important and interesting is this alpha. I want to provide either no transparency if this is true in the logic, and it's not so much important. I don't want to go over the logic of the if statement per se, but I just wanted to show you that if you put conditional logic in the alpha, you can specify whether or not something is lit up and turned on, or if it's there, but it's in a very dim state. So this is 100%, and this is like 10%. So if I wanted to do 5%, I'd have to do 0.5. And then it would go really, really even lower. But in this case, I only did a tenth of, or full on 100%. And you can see the effect of this. Let's zoom into this little module over here so that we can see this a little bit better. So instead of going down, let's go up. And so you can see the green, and you can barely see the yellow. It's there, but it's ever so slightly hinted or lightly lit. And so just wanted to give you the takeaway that you can create these custom componentry or visual aesthetics in here, but try to think of interesting ways to do different things to take your application up to the next level or the notch into the design of it. So again, programmatically, Mostly fairly simple, but there was so many things in this application that I thought was interesting for you to learn from, because normally a 3-screen app has 3 screens, and I wanted to show you how to do it in 1 screen. And in the extra bonus video, I'm going to show you how to make the default buttons and controls all match the same color without having to choose a theme, which is, you know, it's either on or off. And maybe you don't like any of those themes. Maybe you have a custom theme, which is what I have here. You'll notice if I go to add a new button to this Canvas app, the button normally comes out blue. You know, the Power App's blue. I don't have to change it. I've already got this done. So stick around for the last bonus video and I'll show you how to do something like this. All right, guys, that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.